Hey guys, it is Chris Sandeman here again with another real quick pop-up as I explore the area around Riverside Heights and Columbia campus, or Riverside Drive and Riverside Park, Morningside Park, all for a tour that I'm putting together for you guys for later in the week, hopefully by this weekend. But I'm up by Grant's Tomb right now, and I've stumbled upon something else that I hadn't visited before or known, so I wanted to show it to you guys really quick. And I'll just be talking for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to turn this into another shorter video. But I thought, just like the mansion we just visited a second ago, why not do it live, so that if anyone is watching, then you get to enjoy it live as well. Otherwise, you'll see it as a video later on, which is also great. We're doing lots of these all day long, so sorry to keep on popping up in your notifications if you've got other stuff to do. Don't feel like you have to watch this whatsoever. But this is pretty cool, so let me just flip the camera around for you and show you a couple things. All right, so first of all, what we can see over here is the back of Grant's tomb through these trees. It's closed right now, so I'm not able to give you guys a great view of it. Park services have it all shuttered off for COVID restrictions, but you know, perhaps Grant's tomb is like the most famous gravesite for a bigwig that the U.S. ever saw. But New York has seen at least. And behind that, you can see the Riverside church there in the distance behind Grant's tomb. And then if we pan over here, what you have is what's today called the Claremont Playground, but it used to be Claremont Hill. And before that, it was known as Strawberry Hill. It's actually, amazingly enough, the site of where the Battle of Harlem took place in 1776. So, like, quite a big deal, because on September 16th, as Washington's forces are retreating away from the British, who have already defeated the Patriots in the Battle of Brooklyn Heights, and basically have the ability to shoot directly into Manhattan from Brooklyn, Washington leads his forces north to narrowly escape. And there is a decisive, small but decisive victory for the American Patriots here, which is pretty cool, considering that they weren't winning a lot up until that point. It gave a lot of morale boost, and that's what was there in 1776. But what I want to talk about is actually a mansion that was there before, on that previously Strawberry Hill, and a gentleman who owned that. His name was George Pollock. Now, George Pollock was either the father or the uncle of a young boy whose name was St. Clair Pollock. And this child died here on the banks of of what's today Riverside Park. We'll talk about his memorial space in just one second, but I want to show you guys just how close we really are to the river right now. Hi Shannon and hi Ross, thank you guys for tuning in. So you can see down there the Hudson River. It's right there, and you've got this really intense cliff face here that kind of heads down to what is actually the Henry Hudson Parkway, which runs up and down the west side of Manhattan, and then the banks of the river over here. And it's here that this poor child, St. Clair Pollock, died at the tender young age of 5 on July 15th, 1797. So that's 100 years before they would, hey Diana, 100 years before they would build Grant's tomb, or dedicate Grant's tomb. And while you have that massive monolith of Grant's tomb just across the street, you have this tiny little memorial space here to this young child, St. Clair Pollock. And it's neat because there are very, very few private graves on public land in New York City, in all 5 boroughs. This is just one of them. So you can see this dedication that's written here, erected to the memory of an amiable child. That's why this is known as the amiable child grave site or memorial. But erected to the memory of an amiable child, St. Clair Pollock died 15th of July, 1797, in the 5th year of his age. And his nanny had been like looking after him, and St. Clair had gotten too close to the cliff, and he fell over the side, and was unfortunately killed on the rocks of the Hudson River down below. It's crazy because it's 200 years ago. I mean, it's 220 years ago that this memorial site was dedicated, and yet it's still here today. And the reason why it can still be here today is because when George Pollock, the uncle or father, we're not exactly sure, who was a Scots-Irish merchant who lived in Strawberry Hill and had a mansion there, he sold the property to a Mrs. Cornelia Faplunk, his previous neighbor, on January 18th, 1800. And he wrote this: "There is a small enclosure near your boundary fence, within which lie the remains of a favorite child, covered by a marble monument. You will confer a peculiar and interesting favor upon me by allowing me to convey the enclosure to you, so that you will consider it a part of your own estate, keeping it, however, always enclosed and sacred." So the Faplunks eventually leave, and they sell the space to a guy by the name of Michael Hogan, who was a former British consul from Havana, or I've been in Havana. And he's the one that builds Claremont Mansion, probably named after Hogan's birthplace, County Clare in Ireland, maybe in reference to Prince William, Duke of Clarence, who would ascend to become King William IV in 1830 on the English throne. But whatever the name, how it came to become Claremont Hill originally, this was the Pollock's area. So there's another inscription here on the back of this small grave, and it says, it's from the Bible, from Job 14, 1-2, and it says, "Man that is born of woman is of few days and full of trouble. He cometh like a flower and is cut down. He fleeth also as a shadow and continueth not." So there it is. An interesting juxtaposition. This small monument here compared to that massive edifice in the distance to Grant. It's a special little space here, and quite solemn. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. Just a quick touch of history here as we talk about the Amiable Child Monument and Memorial Gravesite here on 124th and Riverside Drive on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York City. Have a great day. See you guys later on. Heading over towards Columbia University now.